Now that's a good sandwich. Mm.
So what are you making today, Laura?
Focaccia bread from scratch. You're going to need 2 cups of water, or 470 grams. I'm going to be weighing everything today. 2 teaspoons of salt, or 11 grams. A tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. 7 grams of dried yeast. I'm going to use this active dry yeast. And then 4 cups, or 560 grams of bread flour, or you can use that 00 flour if you want. So to start, we're going to use water, yeast, tablespoon of olive oil, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And don't forget the salt, because salt is flavor. And if you don't add it, your bread will be flavorless. I'm going to let this sit here for a couple of minutes and let the yeast bloom. That's where it gets all foamy and stuff, and that's how you know your yeast is alive and that you're going to have that fluffy bread that you're waiting for. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes because I don't want to dump all my flour in here and have bad yeast, and then we'll have to start all over again and just wasted everything.
What are you doing?
Waiting.
For?
Foam. This is the fun part. When you see it bubbling, it's alive. That means your yeast is good. Okay, now we're going to add 4 cups, or 560 grams of our bread flour. So I have it on a scale. I tared it out, which means you just put it back at 0. Remember to always fluff your flour. So we're going to go by the scale. So hopefully it'll be close to these 4 cups. So there's 1, 2. So it's 589. You see, when it's compacted, it weighs more. 568. There we go, 560. Do you want to see that on the dot? Okay. So now we're just going to mix the bread. Well, mix the ingredients to make the bread. And if it's too dry, don't be afraid. You can add a little bit more water. If it's too wet, don't tell anybody, but you can add a little bit more flour. But we're just going to combine this till it makes a dough. So make sure you scrape down the sides, get it all. See, it's turned into a big old dough ball. So now what we're going to do is cover it, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then we're going to do 4 series of what's called stretch and pull. And what I like to do is let it rise in the oven with the oven off, but the oven light on. Gives the right amount of heat that you need to help proof your bread. So you can either use saran wrap, or some people use a shower cap, or just anything to cover it up. Okay? See you in 30 minutes.
What are the beans on the cutting board for, Laura?
These are my bean counters. You have to do 4 stretch and folds over like a 2-hour period. I forget which stretch and fold I'm on, so after each one, I take away a bean so I know how many more times I have to stretch and fold. So now we're ready to take the first one out. Save your cover because you're going to be putting it right back on. I'll remove a bean. Gently oil my hand because you don't want the dough to stick to you. And as you see, it rose a little bit. So basically all we're going to do is pull and fold, pull and fold, pull and fold, pull and fold. Do each side. So you start here, you just stretch it, and fold. That one didn't work very well, but stretch, and fold. Rotate the bowl, grab underneath, stretch, fold, last corner, stretch, unfold. Just folding it right on top itself. We're going to cover it back up. Not tearing it too much. And I'll put it back in the oven with the light still on. And we've got 30 more minutes and we'll do it all again. Okay. Take away one more bean. That means we have 2 more stretch and folds after this one. So look how much that rose. Put a little more oil on our hands. And just so you know, focaccia loves oil. So plus you get nice soft hands. So again, we'll start. Grab it from underneath. Stretch it. Fold it over. Rotate the pan or the bowl. Get underneath. Stretch it. Come on. Fold it. Rotate. Gets a little sticky, add a little more oil. Ooh. And the bean stands alone. Last time. Pull it out. Uncover it. Save this. We're going to cover it one more time. See how much it rose. Oil your hands. Going to do the stretch and folds one last time. Then we're going to cover it back up, put it in the fridge, and allow it to do a cold fermentation overnight. So here we go. 1, rotate. 2. You can see the bubbles. So if you notice all the air pockets inside a focaccia, it's where this is where they come from. And the last one doesn't want to stretch. See the bubbles? Put just a little bit of oil on it. Slide it in there. Just cover it. Flip it over. There we go. So cover it back up. Now we're just going to set it in the fridge, and I'll see you in the morning. Welcome back. For us, it's the next day. So what we're going to do today is you're going to take your pan, and if you don't have a non-stick pan, you're going to put parchment paper down first. But we're going to add our oil to the pan, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to do one more stretch and fold on the dough, and then we're going to place it in here, cover it up nice and tight, and then since it's been cold fermenting, we're going to let it sit and rise for another 2 hours. If you had just taken it out of the bowl last night and you would start at this step and you would only have to let it rise for 1 hour. But since it's cold, got to give it 2 hours. So let's get started. So add 3 to 4 tablespoons. You can use this kind of pan. You can use a glass pan. Glass pan, it'll probably take longer to cook. Focaccia bread loves olive oil, so if you think you're using too much oil, you're not. Okay? So now we're going to come back to the bowl and do our last stretch and folds. You can throw this away now. Nice soft hands today. So we're going to scoop in, pull it up, do 1, rotate, 4. Now we're just going to transfer this to that. Just spread it out a little bit. It'll naturally spread out. All right, like I said, loves oil. We're going to put a little more olive oil right on top. And this will help when it rises, it won't stick to the saran wrap. So then we're going to cover it up. It's nice and tight. Like I said, since we had this in the fridge, just going to let this sit in the oven with the light on for 2 hours. So see you soon. Now we're going to prepare the topping. We're just taking a couple sprigs of fresh rosemary and chop it up. It's fine, or leave them whole. It's up to you. Put a little bit of olive oil in with them. Mix it up. I use my finger. We do this so it doesn't burn while it's cooking. If you just left it on there without the oil, it will burn. Add a little bit of more oil to the top. And what we're going to do here is stretch it out to make sure that it fits the pan. You just do your little dimples in the dough, and this helps create the bubbles as well. And we're going to make sure we get it all the way in the corners. It's okay if some of that oil comes on top. If it's not reaching with just pressing down, just lift it up, pull and stretch it, put it back down, and just put some more little dimples in there. And then we're going to grab our rosemary, put it right on top, and then we're going to push that down inside too. You don't have to go too far down, but just enough so, you know, like I said, it doesn't burn. Just you can play with it, and when you see all those bubbles, that's all the goodness inside. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flaky sea salt on top. Can, again, as much or as little as you want. You don't have to put it on at all, but it does add a little bit extra flavor. And we're going to place it in the oven that's been preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to go about 20-25 minutes. Remember how I said the oven fogs up your glasses? Look at that. My gosh. You see that? So I don't know if you can hear the olive oil still bubbling underneath there, but we're going to take it out of the pan. We don't want it to sit in the pan. I'm going to take it out and put it on a wire rack and let it rest at least 10 to 15 minutes before you cut it. If you can wait up to an hour, it's even better. Ah, you hear that crunch? Just so I don't drop it. Ready? Did you hear that? Look at this. Ready? Ah, smells delicious. Time to cut. We're going to make sandwiches with this, so I'm going to cut it in half and then cut it into thirds, okay? Oh, you hear that? Look at that. That's what you want to see in focaccia bread. Look at that. So delicious. Just look at that. All the way around. So I'll take this piece and I'll cut it in half. And again, cut it any way you want to. Like I said, we were going to make some good sandwiches. Look at that. My mouth is watering. And what we're actually going to do, I guess I can tell you, we're going to use some olive tamponade, or this olive bruschetta, some roasted red peppers, and we're going to put provolone cheese and turkey on this. It's going to be delicious. Okay, now we're going to make a sandwich. So we already cut the bread. Put a little bit of mayo on here, on the bottom. A little bit of the bruschetta, or the tamponade, or whatever you want to call it, on the top. It smells so good. If you like olives. Some people don't like olives. This has green and black and some red peppers and olive oil and some seasonings. And if you ever had like a muffaletta sandwich, it's kind of like that. I'm going to lay some turkey down. A lot of turkey down. Might as well just grab a bunch. Lay some of these roasted red peppers on top. And again, you know, make it any way you want. But there's a place, a deli, that Dave likes. And this is kind of how they make it, and it's delicious. And if you want, they have these like where they're sliced as well, like into smaller pieces. You can use those too. And then provolone cheese. And you chop it up. Look at that. Now I'm going to cut this in half. Delicious. Ready for the taste test? Now that's a good sandwich. The bread is chewy and soft, crunchy, flavorful. All the innards are delicious. Sorry, that was a big bite. I hope you enjoy it as much as I am. One more. You hear the crunch?